This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Wednesday, everybody, and I'm very happy to have my boy Al Jackson back in the building.
Good to be back.
Got a couple of applauses, Al.
I'll take it. Yes, Tori's dancing, so you know it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
Quickly, you went to Mexico.
Mexico City.
Followed the Rockies over there in Mexico
Yes,
City.
went to a couple baseball games, saw American sports in like a really cool like old school Mexican stadium. So I loved it. Loved the people, warm. The city was so clean. 23 million people, not anything on the ground. Wow. I took videotape of the sidewalk. Like, how did they do this? It's an unbelievable city. Go to Mexico City if you can.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But watch out for the altitude, right?
That's right.
We're high up here in Denver.
7,000 feet. So it's.
Is that right? I'm quite sensitive.
Yes.
You live in the Mile High City.
Well, in Aspen, I felt a little squeezy.
Yes. Jeff,
I did.
Okay.
Don't say anything else. Yeah. Just let her stay on squeezy.
That's a high altitude
That's
shift.
high.
I mean, 5280 is already very high.
Right, but
We're acclimated,
7.
but when you go up, you feel it.
Yeah.
Everybody in Denver knows how long a mile is.
I know.
52.
5,280.
Yeah. That's a Denver thing. All right, let's get to it, guys. There was a couple of big movie premieres last night in L.A. Jerry Seinfeld brought out his comic friends for his movie Unfrosted. Some co-starred in the film, like Jim Gaffigan, who will be on our show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Bill Burr, Melissa McCarthy, other stars like Caroline Rhea and Bobby Moynihan came out in support. Jerry reunited with his Seinfeld co-star Michael Richards, who played Kramer. Jay Leno also showed up with his wife Mavis, who is dealing with advanced dementia, if you did not know. Jay also crashed one of Jerry's interviews. Let's take a look.
Hey, Jay.
I am so sick of these hard-hitting, controversial documentaries. Can't somebody just make a comedy anymore? No, I'm really proud of him. It's great. We all started about, but he went the fastest, the highest. Because I used to tease him, when I was more well-known than him. We go places and people, oh, Mr. Leno. And then when they have to go, Jerry's a comedian. Oh, okay. And then he becomes the biggest star in the world. Oh, Jay's a comedian. No, I'm really proud of him. It's really going to be a fun time.
All right, so we were all looking at this clip earlier, and we had some thoughts, but I got to tell you, I like Erica's thoughts on it.
Well,
No pressure, Erica.
Yeah.
y'all, I keep sinking
Because
lower and lower in this chair.
What's going on? Is it going down? The ship's going down?
Are you sinking?
It is getting low. It is getting low.
Wait, Al,
Getting
will
low,
you start?
getting low.
Because you
All right, Al,
got a lot of smack.
Yeah, Al,
say
you can
this.
start.
What if just every comment that you made, if our executives didn't like it, you just sunk a little bit lower? Like, yeah, I'll say
Tori
this.
wouldn't be here after
I
this.
see you on the ground.
Tori would be, yes.
I get a little squeaky in altitude.
I'll say this. First of all, obviously, Jay Leno, really for me is part of that generation's kind of ground zero for comics. When it started getting huge in the 80s, Seinfeld came right after him. And when you look at their careers, unbelievable. But when I look at the promotion, I wonder, because a lot of the clips I've seen of Jerry have been him going after kind of alt-left comedy and not being able to say anything. And it's a conversation that needs to be had. But when you're promoting something, when you've got 20 seconds of America's ear to say, come see this, and not really this interaction, but just when I see Jerry in general, I was surprised at kind of how unfunny and very serious he was.
Yeah, he's not good at promoting.
Right.
He's not the best at messaging.
It was just an interesting way to do it. I would have a couple funny lines written about Pop-Tarts. Ask the interviewer something about Pop-Tarts. What's your favorite one? And have something ready to go. And when I see Jerry, it's just you can't say anything, and the kids got you boxed in now. So I'm just interested in how this movie will do in
I don't
general,
know
the
if
promotion
Jerry
of it.
Seinfeld is at a point in his career where he needs a couple one-liners. I do feel like seeing the display of all of his friends and colleagues and supporters over the years, and I really do think that it comes from the spirit of people at the bottom compete and people at the top collaborate. To see Michael Richards on a red carpet in 2024 when he was like the first person to be canceled before cancellation was even a thing, because he's still in that realm and in that, you know, bubble with the Seinfelds and, you know, those groups. I think it's really important that people think about like longevity and how to help, like, when what's the saying, like high tides raises all boats or something like that. And that's what happens when you have a group or an ensemble that knows how to collaborate together, because if one person wins, everybody wins in some fashion. And when you show up for each other, you're all raising that ship. I mean, I certainly saw that and felt that when I did my live event last year. Every single one of y'all showed up. And it was like, you didn't have to do that. You even bought your ticket. So it's like, you know, doing those things are really important if you want to have that type of camaraderie and longevity in your career.
That's what I mean. That's what I see. That's what I see. And I feel like that about us, too. That's why I like that take.
Yep.
All right, Tori, how about this one? Stars also came out for the Fall Guy premiere last night in L.A. Ryan Gosling, who is great at promoting, by the way, looked dapper in this green suit next to his co-star Emily Blunt. So check this out. Ryan also took pics with a couple of his stuntmen. Oh, there they go from the movie. That's good promotion. That's good promotion right there. Later, Ryan showed up with Mikey Day. Great promotion to reprise their role, Beavis and Butthead, which was hilarious. If you didn't see it on Saturday Night Live,
so funny.
Really funny. They caused mayhem on the red carpet by butting in on Emily's red carpet interview.
I love this.
Look at Mikey Day. He looks crazy.
Just so you know, when they did this skit, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, Heidi Gardner, who almost never breaks, like fully broke.
So funny.
And it was Mikey Day is the one that just stayed in character so well. But what this is doing, oh, you guys have a clip, great. We couldn't, I mean, I was dying laughing at this. But what this shows you is how funny Ryan Gosling is, because Fall Guy is really about the comic and the comedian and the chemistry between he and Emily. And remember the Oscars when they were both really funny and they had that little bit together? They did a great job promoting this movie for like a sustained amount of time. Their tour has been going well, their chemistry as well. And again, that SNL thing just reminds you, he's so good on SNL. He's so funny.
And Tor, did you hear the audible laughs in the studio when we showed those clips?
Right.
It's people laugh and be like, what are people laughing about? It's going to make you look up, oh, he's got a movie.
Right.
That's the way you promote. We've had people on the show, when they come in, they're funny, they're ready, they remember our names, and they're ready to go. I love the way they promote it. I think it's a tale of two cities.
Yeah, I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan. A lot of people think he's like this heartthrob, which he is.
He's so good.
He's so funny, so talented. I know, but you know what I mean? Like, just look, he's a funny, talented guy that has a lot of
range.
There you go.
Range. And also shout out
to say diversity. Diversity's in my head, and I'm like, that's not the right word.
No. And shout out to Universal really quick for doing really cool. My friend works there for publicity, for doing all those cool like stunt stuff.
Yeah.
It makes it more fun to watch.
Also, don't forget Ryan Gosling had a hit song too.
I mean,
quite the year.
Yeah.
He shows up, man.
He's Knuff. He is Knuff.
I would say he's becoming a star.
Okay. You see a future for him.
He might make it.
He might be all right in this business. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Tisha Campbell. Speaking of stars, she's telling us all about being on the second season of Lopez versus Lopez, and Melissa McCarthy responds to the Ozempic comment Barbara Streisand made on Instagram. Tori's got a lot to say.
No, I don't.
Welcome back to DBL. Barbra Streisand is speaking out after she asked Melissa McCarthy about using Ozempic. We talked about it yesterday, if you remember. Barbra posted, then deleted a comment on Melissa's Instagram post asking if she was using the weight loss drug. It was a little funnier than that. She then posted this message on her Instagram saying she just wanted to pay Melissa a compliment, but forgot the world was reading. That's kind of social media. Yes. Abs. Melissa also responded on Instagram. Let's take a look at that.
The takeaway, Barbra Streisand knows I exist. She reached out to me and she thought I looked good. I win the day.
That's how you handle that, for sure.
How you handle it.
But now Richard Simmons is weighing in, pun intended. You get it?
Okay, now I do.
There we go. That's a Tori joke. Thank you, Tori.
Yeah.
He wrote on X that he apologized to Melissa for Barbara's remarks and told her she looked fabulous.
Okay, well, she doesn't need him to do that.
Right?
Yeah, Barbra
I thought Melissa
Streisand
handled it perfectly well. We're all done here.
Yeah, because she's a comic and a friend. She worked on the duet album with Barbra. She knows how to handle herself. Self-deprecation. We move on. Richard Simmons coming in to apologize for Barbra Streisand for saying something to Melissa McCarthy is unnecessary. And also, he was such a recluse before. Now he's like popping up all over. I wonder what's going on with him. As for Babs, that's just very, may she rest, Judy behavior. Just got the wrong thing with the DM and was like, you look good. Did you have worked out? What happened? Who would you do?
And you said, like, let's get this out in the open. You said that, like, that's something your mom would do.
1,000%.
Like is that a Jewish mom thing?
It's just a nosy kind of like slightly passive-aggressive way of asking, you look good. It's a compliment. It means I love you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, and so I wish those two had just handled it. I don't get this Richard Simmons bubbling up like something. I don't get it.
Barbra Streisand is 82 years old.
Yeah, she can handle herself.
Okay, is she gonna say what she gonna say?
Yeah, she looks
but
great.
Also, people do just communicate like that. I remember when I was working in the NBA arenas, and this woman who, she was very Italian, and she came up to me and she was like complimenting me, and she goes, "Oh, you look so beautiful before you were fat," and I was like.
Yeah.
Okay, and she was like 1,000,000%, like that was what, and I was like, I don't know if my weight, and she was like, no, it does.
Yeah, well,
and I was like, oh my God, like you just, and then I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Yeah. What am I gonna do?
That's the way it is
like,
for some people.
All right, well. Cool.
Well, I mean, look, I'm glad we're having this conversation because it really segues into my trip to Mexico. This is very weird and kind of not the same, but the older folks, sometimes they just communicate differently. And this guy got on the train in the Denver airport, me and Sar, and I guess he didn't know that we were together. He came in and Sar's got a cast on, broken wrist playing softball, and he just goes, "Oh, did your husband beat you again?" Like, just making conversation. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But he was just like this jovial, like, oh, yeah. And I mean,
it's a different
packed train. And she's like, no, but it's the way that some older folks want to start a conversation. He just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
And it seems crazy to say certain things.
Like,
that's what he said.
We talked about this yesterday, and we all had the same examples. Like, hey, Jeff, I haven't seen you in a while. You gained some weight?
Yeah.
Like, people just talk like that.
There's other people on this planet, and making space for all of them, even though that we're not going to start a conversation like that, but also not canceling this 80-year-old guy on the train. There's got to be space in between.
I gave a rule yesterday, Al. 70 and up, you could say whatever you want to say.
Oh, I like that. I heard somebody say after 100, you should be able to take whatever you want.
Oh, like steal?
Yeah.
Just steal?
You just take it. If you can't stop a 100-year-old from taking it, then it's theirs.
Or drive as fast as you want.
Yeah.
That was a Seinfeld reference. Going back. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. We've been saying you go girl since the 90s, and even then, or before then, Tisha Campbell has been a star. So we've all been following her, and earlier she joined us to catch up with us on her latest role. Take a look.
Please welcome back to the show, Tisha Campbell.
Hello, you guys. It's been a while. It has, but we're so glad you are back. All right, before we get to your guest star role on Lopez versus Lopez, the cast of Martin reunited to our delight this year at the Emmys, and the cast joked about never being nominated for one. We are very real here and transparent. How did you feel, seriously, about that run and never getting that award?
You know what's really interesting? While we were doing it, I remember, and this is the 90s, so this is the early 90s. I remember going to the publicist for the show, and I was like, do you think we could get me nominated for, like, you know, Best Actress in a Comedy Series? And he was like, no, you know you can't.
What?
And I was like, well, you know, maybe supporting actress. He was like, Tisha, please.
What?
You know, you're not even going to get a nomination. So this is just how it is. And so we trained ourselves not to look for accolades.
Right. Wow. That is
It wasn't something that we thought was ever going to happen for us. So to be a part of the Emmys this year and to watch the diversity was in the nominations was so amazing for us.
Wow.
Well,
You know, but
y'all
it's real.
walked.
It's what happened back then.
Yeah.
Y'all walked, so now people can run. You know, I mean,
That's right,
honestly,
that's right.
you paved the way. So you recently visited the lot of Martin and revealed that your first time there was before the show even started. So why did Lenny Kravitz bring you there, and what was going on with Lenny Kravitz?
Was he wearing leather pants?
I don't usually tell people, you know, people are just kind of finding out that we dated when we were kids. But I don't usually tell people because, you know, people, they get too excited. And I was like, listen, I had street cred before you found that out, so don't try it.
Right. Well, let him know.
But I was dating Lenny at the time. And he said, I have to go to my mom's job. And he never told me who his mother was. So when we arrived and I saw that Roxy Rocha was his mother, I just thought, oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Everyone's going back. Before I get to my question, I want to go back a little bit too, because I'm a huge fan of House Party, and me and my buddies stay in touch. And I just sent him a picture, or I just sent him a video when you were doing the battle. You know, when you battle the two guys in House Party. You look so good. I just said it to my buddy. Yeah, ain't my type of hype, baby. He's gonna die, and now I'm interviewing you. So I just thought it was funny because we always stay in touch and things like that.
I love that. I just showed my kids that for the first time because I train my kids not to ever look at my work. So they don't watch my work. They don't care. They literally don't care unless somebody else introduces it to them. Like a friend of mine introduced my youngest to the Martin Show, and so now he calls me Gina. He doesn't call me mommy anymore. And I just answer because I don't care.
Oh.
So I literally, if he calls me mommy, something's wrong. Okay.
That's
so,
cute.
but I showed them House Party for the first time, and they could, you know, they just didn't get it. They didn't get it.
Oh, man. One of
I
my
could care less about
all-time
anything
favorites.
that I do.
I love that. I love that. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about Lopez versus Lopez. You are guest starring as a psychologist for George's daughter. What's the funniest thing about joining the cast? And did you have any of your own philosophies you wanted to bring in?
Well, first of all, my own psychologist was laughing hysterically when I told her that I was playing a therapist, okay? And I was like, you're laughing a little too hard. I really understand.
Take that down.
Yeah, take that down a couple of notches. But no, it was really, really great. I do play a therapist in Lopez versus Lopez, and it's a group family therapy session, intervening family session. And the comedy was just so great. Working with George again was fantastic. He's such a giving actor, and Mayan is just lovely. And I love the fact that this show derived from a post that she did of her family on TikTok.
Yeah, and it's very relatable, I think, right now going through that. I wondered if you could be open. How good are you at handling family drama in real life?
Oh, I tell them, don't play with me. If nobody wants to tell me anything. Nobody wants to hear my mouth.
Good answer.
Nobody, not my brothers, not my mother. Nobody.
Yeah.
Tisha, thank you for joining us. So good to see you. DBL Nation, be sure to check out Tisha in the season finale of Lopez versus Lopez on NBC. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tisha.
Bye, you guys.
The breaks are the best. Welcome back. Did you know that medical debt can impact your credit score? Just like any other debt, outstanding bills from your doctor can cause problems when it comes to applying for loans or buying a house. But this is also true even when you're negotiating with agencies about payments. So have you ever worried about your credit score, Erica?
Yeah. My brand is comeback. How do y'all think the brand got there? Because there were several setbacks.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I will say this because there are options for like credit cards for actual care, like hospital bills, stuff like that. And a lot of them will do X amount of no
interest. It's like a care credit.
Can't I speak
That's very important.
Care credit, it's called. It works for 6 months.
But you actually have to pay it off in time.
Yeah, because the interest will go up.
Think that they will.
That's where the problem lies.
Yes.
Listen,
yes.
I'm sure we all played the credit card games. Take this lump sum, put it to no credit, and I'm good for a little while, and then you got to move it back to this one.
Every time I get a new offer, I'm like, y'all trying to set me up.
Wow. All right. Taking care of your medical bills is important, and better benefits can help. Many Americans already on Medicare may not have a plan with all the benefits accessible to them. So reach out to a Medicare Advantage advisor today. The benefit review is free. At least something is.
Yeah.
Call 800-293-9930. Yeah, credit cards is going to be a big problem, you know, moving forward in this country.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's going to be a big problem.
Kids are more conscious. My kids are already talking to me about it. I'm like, how are you guys
Good
human
for
beings?
them.
I knew nothing until I was like 27 in debt.
Well, welcome back, Al. We'll see you guys tomorrow.